Okay. So don't over calculate and then at times you write less than what is required. So length of the answer, okay, how much we should write depends upon the marks available and the action verb. There's one important thing that I need to tell. For example, this is that you need to break your requirement into your you need to break the requirement into your action verb and object, okay, and then you need at times there could be multiple requirements, so you need to break the requirement into action verb object, and then you need to address all parts of the requirement. For example, see this question here. Discussed. What is discussed? Discuss is the action verb. That what you need to do in this question. Action verb could be discuss. Action verb could be discuss, explain. Action verb could be evaluate. Action verb could be assess, outline, state. So you need to know the action verb first. And what is the object? Object is center of the action. For example, discuss, okay, that's the action I have to perform. But what to discuss? What is the object? Object is the problems. Discuss the problems with the current system of calculating and reporting business. There are two subject matter here for which we need to discuss the problems. One is for calculating variances and the other one is for reporting variances. So maybe you make two paragraphs out of it and see what is the 9 marks for it and how much time I need to allocate as per 9 into 1.5 minutes per 1 mark rule means I have 13.5 minutes for that. Yeah. And I can spare 6 minutes in reading and planning time. So I have 13.5 minutes for that. So how much to write? How much to write? I can jot down the points that what I need to write in calculating various the problems and in reporting this. And my answer, the two types of requirement. One is a knowledge-based requirement. For example, I told you here there was a question. Describe the main steps in preparing a zero-based budget. Okay, so it was a knowledge-based requirement. If you had the knowledge of zero-based budget, you would have been able to do it. You didn't need to link your answer to the scenario. But if it is a question, outline 3 potential benefits of introducing zero-based budgeting at LRA company. Now I need to write the benefits for zero-based budgeting in relation to LRA. So I need to link my answer to the scenario. My answers would come up from this part of the scenario. So reading the scenario here would help me to answer the question effectively. So what we were trying to achieve here, how much we need to write depends upon a couple of things. Length of the answer depends upon what is the action verb. For example, if it's explain and discuss, then more explanation is needed rather than when it is state and outline. Yeah. So you need to know what is an action verb. So in state and outline, you need to be very straightforward and write the important things. But when it is explain and discuss requirement, then definitely you need to write a lot. And another thing is how much marks are given for that. That also help you. One is the action verb. Determine the length of the answer. Another factor, the marks allocation. How much marks you are given for that. And it actually gives you an idea. For example, outline 3 potential benefits and it's for 3 marks. Easily I can understand that it would be 1 mark for each benefit. And if I take a look at the marking scheme, see it is 1.1 mark per point for the benefits in total for 3 marks for that. Okay, and then for example, describe main steps involved in preparing a zero-based budget, 3 marks for that. So 3 steps will carry 3 marks. Or what are those 3 steps? Okay, and then you can, if I check the marking scheme, see these are the 3 steps. Identification of decision packages, 1 mark. Ranking, 1 mark. Third, 1 mark allocation of resources. So how much you need to write depends upon the action verb at the first place. Okay, and what are the and how much marks are available. And another thing, how much you need to write also depends upon how many objects are there in the question. or how many, at times there could be more than one action verb. Depends upon how many action verb there in the question. More than one, there could be more than one action verb as well. Okay, for example, identify and explain. There could be a question in which it says identify and explain. So first I have to identify the subject matter and then I have to explain it as well. So for example, and there are, for example, 6 marks for that. So maybe 3 marks for identification and 3 marks for explanation, and then allocate the time accordingly. Okay. So you need to, by doing the practice, as I've told you like this, you will understand what examiner is asking from a question, how much you need to write. Okay, and then in the planning time, 6 minutes, you can plan your answer. Maybe in identification you can jot down the points, how many points you need to. In explanation, write small short paragraphs. Write small short paragraphs. For example, explain discuss requirement, it's for 15 marks. 15 marks into 1.5. You have almost 22 minutes for that. So how much you need to write? How much you need to write for a 15 marker question? Write at least 6 to 7 points in short paragraphs. Yeah, at least 6 to 7 points in short paragraphs. And for 2 mark requirement, for example, you have 3 minutes for, and what to write for a 2 mark requirement. For every mark, consider you, it may be 1 or 2 short paragraphs. You may be 1 to 2 short paragraphs for every 2 mark. See? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It actually makes, as per that, it actually makes 8 paragraphs, but maybe at times you can explain 2 points in 1 paragraph. Those are interconnected. So good would be, for example, 6 to 7 points. And in, you need to know if it is a knowledge based question. In a knowledge based question, I don't need to know the facts and figures given in the question. I don't even need to look into the scenario for a knowledge based question. It totally tests your bookish knowledge. But if it's an application based question, for example, here I was supposed to tell the potential benefits of introducing zero based budgeting. I was supposed to write from here. I was supposed to write and link my answer to the scenario. If I'm going to write a very bookish knowledge or not, just like I am, as if I was attempting a knowledge based question, examiner won't give me marks. These are the tips you get to read from, you get to know after reading the read the marker, mind of the marker. Okay, that you override, you underwrite, you don't allocate time to individual requirements. And I told you at times there are more than 2 objects in the question. For example, here is one question here. Yeah, here's one question here. Explain what a slack is and identify from the graph where slack will occur. And there are 2 marks for that. So 1 mark could be explaining of what the slack is, and then 2 marks for that, and maybe 2 marks, other 2 marks is for identification of slack, explanation of slack, and then identification of slack, and 2 marks each. Yeah, just like that. And here it is explain what the line C on the graph is, one part of the requirement, and what the area represented by the points OA, B, C, D. So 2 things. One is identification and explanation of ISO contribution line. This is ISO contribution. Maybe 2 marks for that. And then identification and explanation of the feasible region. OABCD is feasible region called OABCD is called as feasible region, and this is ISO contribution line. This line C. C 2 marks for identification of each one of these. Yeah, and if you look at the marking scheme here, yeah. Yeah, identification and explanation of ISO contribution line 2 marks. Identification and explanation of feasible region 2 marks. Yeah, explaining what the slack are, and then identification of slack, and then accordingly. See, so That's how you need to answer the questions accordingly. Okay. So for multi-part requirements having two parts, action, verb, identify and explain A. For example, 4 marks. Okay. So write 2 to 3 short paragraphs will gain 2 marks each. Yeah. And then 3 minutes you can for allocate for to identify action verb and 3 minutes for explanation action verb. Maybe you can make separate headings accordingly. So your answer should have a clear structure. Not attempting 100% marks and leaving any part unattempted is another reason for the failure in the exam. I would say doing an average paper but a complete paper is a pass rather than a well written script but an incomplete one. So attempt 100% of the paper, getting 50% would be easy, would be like a piece of cake. Failure to read and understand the marking scheme, failure to self evaluate your answer, I've told you 1,000 times. You need to self evaluate your answer and then you need to evaluate your answer as per the examiner marking scheme. First, check your answer as per the examiner marking scheme, as I've shown you here, and then read the script. Usually, the script is very descriptive because standard examiner answer is very detailed and very mostly not only 80% of that might earn you full marks. So it is usually more detailed, okay, because even some students are on a self study. So the standard answer in BPP Kaplan kit is more detailed, but always evaluate your answer as per a standard examiner marking scheme, always, whether you have missed any point that was carrying crucial marks. Yeah. So practice under exam conditions, self mark. Okay. And for an application based requirement, as I told you, if you're not going to link your answer to the scenario in discursive requirement, there are facts and figures, important information, important changes, percentages, some market condition, industry related information, economic environment, some subject matter is actually there in the facts and figures of the scenario. And then requirement actually are some discussion of some problems or identification of the problems. Requirements are related to all those facts and figures given in the question. And if it's an application based scenario as well, it's an application based scenario as well, and then you're not linking your answer with the scenario, so means you're not doing attempting your answer in the right way, and you won't examiner won't give you marks for that. So for every line is important. Every line in the body of the question has got a meaning in it. Covering entire syllabus. At times, I haven't done risk and uncertainty. I haven't done sales mix and yield variance. Oh my God, what I'm going to do? And a question comes up on that. Even if it doesn't comes up and you're happy it doesn't come up in section C, maybe 2 to 5 questions come from section A, or maybe an MTQ comes from these topics on section B. So do not leave any question. You can't miss any topics. And even if I'm telling you about section B type questions, it covers a broad syllabus areas. Even mix of topics can come in the OTQs, which are multitask questions. Maybe a question from mix of linear programming, limiting factor, make and buy. There is a question in which all these topics were tested, and what if you skip those topics? See, you would lose your precious marks. So in section B, and section B is not a very straightforward. It really actually tells you, it really tests your knowledge. That's why a mix of topics actually come. So OTQs, you should be able to apply all the theories and techniques to the OTQs. Okay, which are section B type questions. So OT cases can be really tricky. It comes from a common scenario, and you need to understand the requirement very properly. Okay, reading scenario carefully, pinpointing key information is very critical. Okay, when it's about section B. So though section B requires multitask questions are tricky, it requires a lot of practice. So every section, as I told you here, comes up with its own challenges, and you need to overcome that in order to pass PM in first attempt. These are the different topics that are tested in earlier papers, And as you can see, nothing has been, it pretty much covers everything. We don't know about section A much, but this relates to section C and B. But from examiner report questions, you can see the real exam MCQs from there. Student mostly tells that this comes in section B and this comes in section C. So see, in one attempt, maybe for September 2020 it was, performance measurement, divisional performance measurement, financial performance, building block, balance scorecard, all of these topics came maybe in morning paper or in the evening paper. See all the topics. And if you just pinpoint and start doing the topic spotting that maybe last time building block model came and divisional performance would come this time, no, you can't do that. See, this is an example right in front of you that in one attempt, morning and evening paper, two set of papers, of these topics were tested. All of these topics. Okay, that's it. That's it from today's class. That was the first orientation class. I hope you understood, and I hope I have been able to share the right techniques with you guys. Okay, especially when it comes to attempting a section C type question, that how much you need to write. Okay, and with respect to action verb, whether it's application based question, how many objects need to be answered. Okay, and at times there could be more than one subject area, and then you can make headings according to that. Just like here, the question was, okay, discuss the problems. Discuss was the action verb, problem was the object, and I need to do the discussion relating to two subject areas. One, I need to discuss problems with the current system of calculating variance first and then reporting variance. So relevant info, jot down the points in the reading and planning time and make two headings, and then maybe answer would earn you more marks. Yeah, would earn you more marks. Maybe split the marks between these two areas. That for that you need to discuss the problems in the current system of calculating and reporting variances. That's it. That's it from today's class. Thank you very much.